the MD of Forgings, joins us in that. That stock has been a bit of a multi-bagger, in fact, up about 6 times in the last 1 year. Thanks a lot for joining in, Mr. Krishnan. First up, your 75% of your sales comes from overseas markets, and you do have a large presence in the commercial vehicle sector as well. So you did indicate a positive outlook for FY16, but it's not reflective in the first quarter numbers. Any particular reason for that?
We have, over the last few months, been saying that F16 will be a year of consolidation for us. Last year we grew by about 17%, and this year would be something in the region up to about 5 to 7%. So this year will be a year of consolidation, and we've been holding that for the last few months.
So why is it a year of consolidation?
See, what happens is that when you go ahead and develop parts with customers, your development lines and your tooling abilities, they reach their capacities. So once these parts vacate out of and go into bulk production, then you have your development facilities freer. That's one. Second is getting to customers and finalizing deals with customers. The second, so we can say the second reason is market capture. A combination of these two leads to increases in sales. The third factor, which is important as well, last year has been, or this year, will be capacity. So we have reached kind of peak capacity last year with 38,000 tons on almost what was 42,000 tons throughout the year. So as a result of that, 3 factors combining together, we predicted that this year will be a year of consolidation.
Okay. Mr. Krishnan, just taking that point forward then, right now, even though it might be a year of consolidation, how are your export markets performing vis-a-vis India?
Export sales are pretty decent. In number terms and in foreign currency terms, they have held against the previous year's numbers. The euro alone has depreciated vis-a-vis the Indian rupee with the dollar, and therefore the Indian rupee. That has led to a slight fall.
All right, so we just need to hold that thought for a minute. Vedanta has restarted its iron ore mining business in Goa after a closure of nearly 3 years. Let's cut across to a conference call by the management
of iron ore, and the rest of the District Mineral Foundation and the cess to Goa government and other important duties that you have to pay, all put together, how much does it come to? Because I guess the grade of iron ore that you're producing would fetch you not more than $45 per ton in price.
Yeah, we will be expecting in these current markets to be receiving much less than $45 per ton. So the industry will require government support, and we do seek the abolition of the 10% export duty on the lower grade iron ore. What I'd like to do, maybe off the record, what we can do is we can send you some more specific breakdown of individual components.
And
so back on the record, I would like to say that it's in everyone's best interest for us to be able to profitably produce so that we can put the necessary capital in the future so that this business can grow and continue to improve the Goan economy in the future.
And have you had a chat with the government on removing the cap on production, because you are producing much less than your capacity in not just Goa but also in Karnataka? I believe it's only 2.29 million tons in Karnataka per annum, while you have a higher capacity, or at least operations-wise you can ramp it up. So are you in talks with the government? Has government given any assurance on that cap being removed anytime soon, Tom?
Again, we are planning to mine, at least initially, under the existing court-ordered cap of 20 million tons per year. And we do expect that with our mining at 5.5, we will, at the same time, begin to engage with the government, but also recognize there's an expert panel of the court that will have to opine on what any lifted cap will be. It's our intention to show that we can mine in a way which is satisfactory to stakeholders, so we can increase our production, but again, we're taking it a step at a time.
But profitability is going to be low. I just wanted to know about that. I mean, you are expecting very little margins from these operations, even though you want to start at these prices.
Yes, I think that we recognize that we will not be seeing the profits from GOA that the industry or CESA would have seen in the past, both that because of the lower iron ore prices, also these lower volumes. So again, for us, it will be important for us to show that we can generate profitable operations, generate positive cash flow at lower levels of production, and again, take it a step at a time.
Okay, well, that's the management of Vedanta, and finally a bit of a shot in the arm. After 3 years, they have resumed mining operations in Goa. But let's get back to our conversation with Mr. Krishnan. Mr. Krishnan, you were apprising us about how the export business is doing. If you could just tell us, and apologized for the delay, but if you could just tell us what the outlook for the export as well as the domestic market would be in FY16 in terms of even incremental growth.
Not at all. No need for any apologies. The export markets are doing pretty well for the now, and U.S. Heavy truck industry particularly is on an all-time high kind of a level. That's very positive. That is expected to continue well into the next 12 months, which is positive for us and for many suppliers from the Indian region. European markets are also holding their ground, and we expect that also to be the same going forward. The only issue is that the euro business when converted into rupees will have a fall, and that will have some impact, and which we will counter with a little bit of growth. So we have seen a 2-3% fall net in terms of our export income, export revenues. But overall, we've been able to hold our ground as far as net margins are concerned.
Okay, all right. So we'll have to leave it on that note. I think we have the finance minister's audio coming in. So let's try and cut to that, and important statements also flashing on your screen at this point.
राहुल गांधी का आरोप है कि उन्होंने पूछा है कितने खाते में पैसे जमा हुए हैं। देखिए, इस तरह के बेबुनियाद सवाल कोई भी पूछ सकता है। शुक्रवार को स्मृति जी ने एक बयान दिया था। मुझे लगता है उस बयान के सही अर्थ पे कांग्रेस पार्टी के नेतृत्व को विचार करना चाहिए। कांग्रेस पार्टी की लीडरशिप को समझना चाहिए कि इस प्रकार के सवाल उसके नेतृत्व से अगर पूछने लग पड़े तो शायद उनके पास उसका कोई उत्तर नहीं होगा। सुषमा जी बहुत वर्षों से राजनीतिक जीवन में हैं, और इस तरह का आरोप उन पे लगे किसी ने आज तक सोचा भी नहीं। Well, of course, the numbers are clearly in favor of the GST. The Congress party is completely isolated. Its best endeavor is that it won't be able to stop the GST. It's desperately trying to see if it can delay the GST. It wants to hurt India's economy. This is my specific charge against the Congress party.
The finance minister directly taking on not just the Congress party.
Okay, well, that is the finance minister talking about how this session, the monsoon session, has been quite a washout because of the deadlock that has been taking place. Remember, it is the last week of the monsoon session that we already are in. Besides that, there was a flash on the screen saying there would be the submission of the land panel report would be now in the winter session of the parliament. So it just goes to indicate that there is a little bit of a pushback which has taken place on that. Remember that just a couple of minutes ago we were reporting that the parliamentary panel on the land bill was seeing a standoff between the BJP and the Congress, and now we have information that there is a possibility that it will be taken up in the winter session. But let's just apprise you of what's taking place in the markets. In fact, it is quite range bound at this point in time. We have been working in this upside gap up to 8600, so that kind of continues at this point. 8592 is currently where the Nifty is at. I think we can get a technical check in now. We have Gaurav Bisa from LKP Securities joining in. Gaurav, hi, thanks very much for joining in this afternoon. What is your sense on the Nifty? What are you telling your clients on the Nifty in specific?
Good afternoon. The Nifty's immediate resistance is seen at 8650 level. So if we manage to trade above 8650 for a couple of trading sessions, or rather even if we manage to close above 8650 levels, then I feel the levels of 8800 can be quite possible. But looking at the market scenario and the kind of lull session that is seen in the individual stocks, I feel we might not be heading towards those levels, at least for today. So I would be waiting out for that. If 8650 is not sustained, or if it's not crossed, then I feel we might again have a 100 points dip from current levels.
All right, Gaurav, thanks for joining in. Could you run us then through all the picks that you have? You have 3 buy calls.
Conversation with Mr. Krishnan. Mr. Krishnan, you were apprising us about how the export business is doing. If you could just tell us, and apologized for the delay, but if you could just tell us what the outlook for the export as well as the domestic market would be in FY16 in terms of even incremental growth.
Not at all. No need for any apologies. The export markets are doing pretty well for the now. And US heavy truck industry particularly is on an all-time high kind of a level. That's very positive. That is expected to continue well into the next 12 months, which is positive for us and for many suppliers from the Indian region. The European markets are also holding their ground, and we expect that also to be the same going forward. The only issue is that the euro business when converted into rupees will have a fall, and that will have some impact, and which we will counter with a little bit of growth. So we have seen a 2-3% fall net in terms of our export income, export revenues, but overall we've been able to hold our ground as far as net margins are concerned.
Okay, all right, so we'll have to leave it on that note. I think we have